to turn up. Have to say my time's burnt up. Something like my pockets in the saddest way. Reality TV just laughs at me. Kinda like those bullies in high school. Behind scenes was catastrophe. So could everyone quit telling me what I had to be? Just to be simple with you, brother, I'm truly glad to be a fuck up. Cause right now I'm down, so homie, what's up? I know I didn't grow to get here by being stuck up. Some people out seeing how much energy they can suck up. But I'm filling the cup up, passing it to my brothers. Maybe one day I'll buy a house for my mother. Up on the mountain, awesome. Helipad so I can visit often. Send my dad golfing off with Steve Austin. Stone cold focused. Cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. It's been a minute now, milking every opportunity. I should get a cow, never seen an obstacle that I couldn't get around. But I'm not from royalty, so I didn't get a crown. These thoughts were written down for those who sit and frown. Complain every day about the blessings they were given. How do you suppose those bros in Africa are living now? Maybe you could see the light if I could shift the clouds. So I'll try, but man, look how time flies. This year came and went like drive-bys. Mama still says she's surprised by my size, but this cat survives, still got my 9 lives. So what you wanna do? Go home, relax for 5 days cause you wanted to? I'd rather be out in Bombay, but I ain't mad at you. I'm not home to stay, I'm just passing through. There's things I have to do. Cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. I've been in the office, they asking me where I'm off. I'm thinking that I fell off, it's a bad decision to start off with. If I don't call back, don't be mad at me. Home or family is surely somewhere that I'd rather be. I've been on the road for just too long, hoping that I'll come soon. No, when that'll be, man, who knows? Guarantee y'all have something to show. Most of y'all complacent, none of y'all got patience. I know that for a fact, cause I'm part of that equation. Learned from the school of life, and this is orientation. Nothing could prepare me for what I recently been facing. Some say that gravity is too strong, but when you love, you really can't do wrong. So I'm sorry I can't move on, but I couldn't leave without this new song. Hey, cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. Cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. get. Fantasies you keep became real when you met me. What I see, I get. No matter where I am, next to you is where I want to be. Toughening up, we messed up in the middle. Arguing lately, and baby is giving me nothing like Benjamin Button's a riddle. Oh. Sorry if you can't keep up with me now. How many times I keep bumping around? Oh, oh, oh. Too many times I trip on the line and you huffing and puffing, I'm sitting and crying. But something is changing, truth that I'm finding. Then we always find out that we both got the right to go from fast enough to slow. Further along it shows, we still got the plans to go, but we all got a purpose. We both got the right to go, we all got a purpose. When you see me get fantasies you keep, they came real when you made me. What I see, I get. No matter where I am, next to you is where I want to be. When you see you get fantasies you keep, they came real when you met me. What I see, I get. No matter where I am, next to you is where I want to be. You always find out that we both got the right to go. We all got a purpose. When you see you get oh, oh, oh. Too many times I trip on the line and what I see I get low. Further along it shows, still got the plans to be. When you see you get too many times I trip on the line and became real when you met me. When you see I Let's see, my voice, I think my voice is on. How's everybody doing? I have not been able to even get into chat yet. Where is chat? Let me see who's up in chat real quick. Drop a 9 if you're there so I know you're there. Should I say so I know you're 9? What's up, 8 Duff Shot? What is good? DCL tour guide in the house. How's everybody's day been? Oh, forgot to turn on the TV. Kill that musica. We are just hanging out in Decentraland as usual for our Thursday report here at the HQ, but we're going to be roving reporters, so if you want to jump in on the scene and watch from our HQ right in Decentraland, you can do that. This is our news station here, positioned at 7953 DCL Report HQ. You can catch me and other reporters streaming here their live events. But we're going to go on the scene. There's a lot going on in Decentraland and a lot for us to cover that I would like to cover in today's very important report. First of all, who do we got in the house right now? I mean, I know a lot of people might be checking this out for the first time from our presentation earlier today. Maybe you heard about the Decentraland report just recently from a friend. There's a number of ways that we might have been connected right here together in this moment. So for those of you who are just starting to discover the Decentraland report, our team focuses on the historical preservation of the metaverse, specifically Decentraland.
So us as reporters, we go around on the scene live, capturing experiences, moments as they happen. Soon, our meta archive will be completely built, and you'll be able to go back in time and revisit. Go back in time and see what day on Earth you wanted to see, what was happening in Decentraland, and you can revisit that. And it's a community effort to realize this. It is a participate to earn experience. So our reporters earn report tokens, and our viewers also earn report tokens, and that goes into our whole ecosystem of governance and being able to choose what content and what reporters are live on the air what time. So it's a decentralized news broadcasting team for the metaverse. Makes a lot of sense. My name is Kevin on Earth 999. I'm one of the Decentraland reporters. This is my time slot, 7 p.m. on Thursdays. So 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So from 7 to about 8, maybe sometimes a little later, depending on the action, you can catch me here in Decentraland on the scene here with my handy dandy microphone. I got my on-air sign ready to go on the scene. So without further ado, I think right now just started right here, Valde NFT collection. Let's go jump in on the scene. Let's just see what's going on. We're going to maybe jump in a couple of spots. We have a really cool show lined up for you today. At 7:30, so in about 27 minutes, is the premiere of an interview that I did with Cordmaster. So you and I are going to get to enjoy that. We're going to get to tune in. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Here we are. We are in Vegas City Arts District. So obviously there's a lot going on to Decentraland. You can see these little red dots are where people are. The blue dots represent there's people there, but they're on a different realm. You can see in the top left this little button for realm. You can warp into different realms. You can see how populated each realm is. This is actually a newer feature that just came out. So if you haven't seen this yet, if you go to your menu, you can go to your menu in a couple different ways. You can click this little circle at the top right, or you can press the escape button, I think twice, if you're clicked in. And then in the top left, you have this realm button. You can select what realm, so you can go meet your friends in specific realms. Like maybe if you're in a drop event, you don't want to be in a realm with many people because it'll be maybe tougher for that server to handle the data that's coming. It might get bottlenecked. So you would go in something like Athena to maybe avoid that. You just go through the warp tunnel. How do you access that? Way better than going to the go-to option. Yes, well mentioned. So A-Duff mentions this whole new menu option, like the way it's seen here, is pretty new. The map option has been around. You would just press M to access it. It wasn't very clear. So a lot of the things that Decentraland is optimizing is around really making these things very intuitive. So definitely very useful with the way it is right now. And you can explore a couple different ways. So let's just talk about that, A-Duff. The ways that I explore the map. So yes, what he was talking about, you can actually type in your chat. So if you press enter, you can type in chat /go to and type in the coordinates. Say you wanted to go to this, you would go -119 space 88. You'd press enter and it'll teleport you to that location. That's one way that you can explore the map. But that requires that you know the coordinates and you know where you're going, right? So how do I find my way around Decentraland? Number one, the events page. I'm always coming to the events page and I'm looking at, what's happening, because I think that's what makes Decentraland special. It's the things that are happening here, and thus why we created this report, to make sure that people can remember and look back at our history from a dynamic a dynamic perspective that comes from within the community. And with decentralized culture and all that, it's all possible. So I go to these and I see like what events I want to be going to. If there's no events, or if I've visited them all and I'm, just kind of feeling like explorative. I think this might have dropped me. Sometimes, this is also another problem with the go. Sometimes it'll drop you like in an area that is Like, if the builders of this area, for instance, they might have pre-programmed that anyone, because they own the land, anyone who drops in this coordinate, like, will automatically be dropped at this start point. So you saw we started there at the Australian Open, right? It's because somebody who owns this land coded that as the drop point for anybody. It's like, you know, it's tricky. People are learning how to really create consistent experiences. Perfect example through how to navigate a map to how do landowners control the experience of where people enter during their events. Here we are back to our flood mob, and these green walls means that this is still loading, so it's kind of like Star Wars, dun 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 dun. You know, like I'm about to face Darth Maul on the other side of this, but even myself, I'm on a gaming computer, you know, Alienware. If there's a lot of people on the scene, that is going to impact it as well. This is actually a good time to bring up. In the Decentraland blog, they recently had a post that's very useful. 100 avatars in a browser tab. Optimizations and rendering for massive events and beyond. People, I'm dropping this into chat for everybody. There's a Pope at the aquarium right now. This is right here. This is important. So they talk about introduction, avatar imposters. That is a thing. Wait, that's funny. You'll see. GPU skinning, avatar rendering overhaul conclusion. So the Metaverse Festival was envisioned to be a milestone in the platform's history, and user experience had to be up to par. And this is what they did. This is like an overview of what they were able to achieve. Avatar imposters. Sometimes if there's a lot of people on the scene, you might see that their 3D avatar becomes a 2D avatar. It looks goofy, but it's if they're far away. You know, it looks a little goofy, but it saves a lot on the rendering, and I think it's a clever solution. So I'm not going to read through this for y'all. I dropped that in the chat. If you're interested in checking this out and you don't see it in the chat, just go to the blog section, and you'll see it right here under the blog. And you can always come through these different categories to explore. This is the best way to learn and to stay up to date. So let's see. We've loaded here. Look at that. Let's see. There might be music. Let's see. This looks very dope. Oh, there is music. It's like little Christmas. Oh, here we go. All right, you ready? So what I was trying to do there, I was trying to collect a Pope. This is a Pope machine, proof of attendance protocol. You can see what it looks like right here. Beautiful. Unfortunately, there are no more. These Popes, they are coveted. They can award you all sorts of things. Who knows? Maybe they can use that Pope to say, oh, whoever was ever at this real, like this is a launch event, right? Whoever was at the launch event is going to get XYZ. Oh, wait, there's somebody talking here.
Creatives, personally want to thank artists and beauty entrepreneurs. We really want to harness the power of the blockchain for good and believe that there is great opportunity for us to collaborate, come together, support each other, fund initiatives, and ultimately also provide great value for collectors. So I personally want to thank you for your support. Thank you for joining the event, and I hope you have a great time.
Really weird. Interesting. That was freaking awesome. That was a serious vibe. I mean, check this out. Look how many people are up in here. It is a serious vibe. Let's go. Let me let them know you're on air. Oh, Rustin. People are very supportive here. I'm letting them know that we're live right now. So sometimes people get rowdy. It's pretty hilarious. Like, this is history. You are literally, you're part of the report, everybody. Congratulations. I felt like this is a historic moment. This launch event was an important moment in Decentraland history, in World of Woman history. So I had to include it in my report today. And you all look amazing. Everyone's outfits just phenomenal. So look, there's love in the air. This is like if you were able to bring a camera into Woodstock. That's what we're doing here, people. We're bringing. Look at that. People are just going wild. Listen, we got something going on here. Got some musicals.
Divine collection. This collection is very special because its really initiative is to help women, and that's extremely important in the NFT space. So I'm very honored and grateful.
Oh my God, there's 2 audio files that I'm getting right now. You see something?
Electronic music, and we're gonna dance the night away. So who's ready to party? I think I am.
There we go. What is up, Strake? What's up, Strake Abuse? What is good, Zero Crow? This actually will have VR interface soon enough. I mean, not anytime directly soon, but it is on the horizon. This is all built on Unity, so it's made to port directly to VR very easily. If you look on their roadmap, actually if you search Decentraland roadmap on Google, you will find Trello right here. that is their roadmap of items, and you can see what is the like series of things that they're going to do to eventually get to their native VR World Explorer. So, little thing for you there. Let's go. How is everybody doing? As much as I would love to stay and party, you know, people, they try to, you know, I go to these events, they try to pull me in, stay up all night, you know, like I can't do it. I got reports to cover. But people, show some love, pop through here. Vegas City Arts District. Come check out the Ainsley Gallery. Decentraland report approved. Oh, we're sharing a lot of things today. Let's see. Before our 7:30 event, oh my gosh, sometimes this click is so annoying. We have a couple things coming up. Number one, I want to get into some breaking news. It's my duty to make sure that we're recording this and that this is in history. And more importantly, that you are aware of this. So recently they updated the marketplace. Now anyone who has wearables has this thing called My Store. And this can track what, you know, it's a better way at tracking your wearables. Before, like, they have, basically it's a new interface. You can see what you have on sale. So here we have On Earth Band hats for sale, 15 mana. Let's go. You can see information on the sales, the bids. And this settings thing allows you to actually set like a cover picture. So let's say let's find one that makes sense. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. What picture? Yeah, this one. Boom. Description: the Decentraland report official wearable store. Let's say. Website. Let's say. I'm gonna change this tomorrow, people. Tomorrow the new website is dropping. I don't know if I want to give my Discord ID openly, like. Simple as that. Boom. And then you can click See Store as a guest. And then, oh, look at that. Look at that. It looks phenomenal. You can see my originals. So here are the wearables that I've created so far. The DCL Reporter live on the air. And this is a wearable that you can only get by reporting 13 separate reports. So far, I think only DCL Tour Guides and Fractilians have earned this honor. That's right. One for me, one for the designer, and then one for DCL Tour Guides, and then one for Fractilians. So when the reporters reach their 13th report, they get one of these DCL Reporter live on air signs. And then when they reach their 26th report, so this is like at the halfway point, when they reach their 26th report, they get one of these, their own one-of-one customized DCL Reporter jacket. This is the one that I got after actually doing it at my 6-month point, literally at the 6th month. That's when I made this, and that's when I had the idea, like, hey, anyone who wants to be a DCL reporter, what's in it for them on their 6th month? Like when they hit that same what I did, then they're committed. They're gonna get this wearable. you know, one with their own badge and however they want to design it. So that's the originals that we have. I like the way they have this outline. And then here's all the collectibles that I own on this particular. But you can click here and see on sale. And no, we have none on sale, folks. Nah. Hodled 4 days. Hodling everything. It ain't happening. The only thing that there is there are 113 remaining on Earth band hats. People, this is like about to reach 10% supply here. There are 15 mana. I would strongly suggest you grab one of these. Hey, PM 2400. Can't wait to learn more about NFTs. Glad you were there at today's event. So this is an NFT, Meredith. I'm sorry, PM 2400. That's awesome. So this right here is it looks so shiny and nice in here. And if you look on the inside, you can see like there's an Earth map, like, and on the top too. Little hidden gems in here. Pop that on here. Let's see. Oh, kitty mouth. I will keep the kitty mouth for sure. Let me see. I need some sunglasses. It's very interesting. Bug report. Decentraland report, bug report. Sometimes this is an issue if you have a lot of wearables. Sometimes they don't all load. Like, for instance, if you come in here, and this is something enough that'll freak somebody out who has wearable. They're like, where's my, you know. Like, you see these yummy retro shades. I would love to put these on right now, right? And it's in my wallet. If you go here to accessories, there's no yummy retro shades. I guess I gotta settle here for my little homie. Let's go. I gotta get some. We're gonna get some walking music here. I also want to say that every time that I play this song right here, I get royalties. Pink Bambi and I invested. Just recently, Nas released what they call LDAs. They're royalty tokens. They limited digital assets. Basically, they assign a percentage of royalty for each of these tokens. So for holding this token, you get a 0.01 something percent royalty for every time the song plays. This song right here. So there's definitely a lot of things in the NFT space that are coming up. This is just one example, something I mentioned in the presentation earlier today. Okay, y'all. So, my store, make sure y'all check out, there is a new committee report that just came out right here. I would definitely go ahead and check that out. That's an update on everything. Basically, the latest approved grants in the DAO point of interest. So you can see all the new points of interest, the grants that were approved. So here we go. If you're interested in the grants or polls, This is something we can go more into depth if y'all want. Just let me know in chat if you want me to start going through some of this more in depth. In 4 minutes, though, we have a very important time to keep. Here we go. It's about to happen, folks. We are about to. 2 minutes away. Here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta do something so I can comment. Here we go. I look goofy. Those are two great smiles, though. You gotta say those. You know, like those are two very fine Kevins. I have to say. Okay, this is it. Chat publicly. Let's go. It's NFT. Everybody, I'm dropping the link here in chat. Everybody just... I ended up actually not playing the music because just recently I remember I got an email from frickin' Twitch saying that they just closed a partnership with Universal. And they're cracking down on flagging, you know, unlicensed music. So I don't know if the royalty payment on that one play is going to be worth it, folks. Sometimes I have to rein myself back there. But y'all keep me in line, right? Zero Crow, you're looking over my back. You're making sure I'm not crossing the line, right? All right, folks. Premiere will begin shortly. It's about to happen. I'm literally shaking. Let's go. All right. Activating my computer audio for full sonics. Can I super like this? Thrice Born says, I'm glad you're doing this. You're a champ. I agree, Cordmaster. You're putting on for the community right now. We're permeating the truth out here. Yeet. Any moment now.
Some people say our trade-in process feels too easy. They can't believe it's 100% online.
Hold on. Here we are.
Access
it's happening,
limitless
folks.
Power with Elementor Pro. Create.
This beat is fire. Y'all already know this. Y'all know that I do this. K&K, we the truest. Chord master, how you brew this? We will never lose this. 30 seconds, 2 minutes. Y'all already know.
We have my man Kevin Clark here, and Kev, I was thinking earlier, I was like, man, you were, aside from my wife, you were the first guest that I had on my show way back when. Yes, that's honorable, isn't it?
I love it. I'm a big fan of the channel, and just to be here again and reconnect is just a pleasure. I really love our conversations. We get deep and we talk about some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I forget exactly where our paths crossed initially, but I just know that I got wind of the stuff that you're doing, you know, with point motion control. And anytime like I see something related to music and wellness, that really, you know, gets me sort of excited. So I was really excited to kind of chat with you. And then so from that point, this was maybe about, I don't know, 8 months ago or something like that. And from that point all the way to today, you know, I've been checking occasionally the things that you've been up to, right? I saw you streaming a little bit on Twitch. I seen that you're entrenched in the NFT world, which is something that I'm extremely curious about. So I'm really, and I've had the idea of wanting to have you back on, and then I think you reached out to me because you launched your website recently.
Yes, right.
And how dope. So I'm gonna have the website information down in the description on the non-live version of this. Like I said, just bear with me. This is all new here, but I'm gonna definitely have it down there for people watching this on the replay. And yeah, so I'm excited to have you on, man. So let's go ahead. I'm going to dive right in and kind of just chat with you. I keep looking back and forth. Like, this is looking at you. This is looking at you right now. I can see you, but here makes it look like I'm looking at you because you can see me. So that's why I'm going back and forth a little bit. But yeah, man. So let's start off. You know, I want to start off just asking. First of all, how are you doing today? Let's get that out the way. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling like at the end of the year, you know, you try to get done as much as you can, but things slow down. And, you know, for us entrepreneurs, we kind of, you know, the world starts to drag their feet. And I'm like, all right, I get it's the holidays, but, you know, so I'm just working, doing what I can here in the office as we usually do.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's you feel like the year went by fast for you, or do you feel like it was normal, or how does it feel?
It went by so fast. So much stuff is happening in the world right now. Just trying to keep up and trying to have fun with it. And it definitely has been fun. But this year has been, for myself, the biggest year of my career between, you know, my full-time job running Point Motion, which is a digital health company that uses cameras to translate patients' body movements into music and collect data for doctors. So essentially allowing for a more musical experience during therapy. We work a lot with Parkinson's, dementia, as well as developmental behavioral pediatrics. So, you know, that has been a really exciting year for us in that sense. But with everything that's happening in the NFT space and this, you know, whole technology of blockchain, just things are moving so fast. You know, they say like a week in the NFT world is like 2 months into the real world.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. I mean, look, we all, I think, well, not all, but most of us have heard of NFTs, right. And some of us, you know, I guess acknowledge or think about or really consider how, I mean, I use this word a lot, but how like game changing and transformative this can be. Now, what I wanted to do just kind of in this conversation, I think this will be kind of fun because I'm coming from a place of someone who is the latter of what I just described, someone who's heard of it. And I believe, being a musician, being a music producer, I believe that there is enormous potential to disrupt. That's another buzzword, disrupt, right? Disrupt many industries. Absolutely. And, you know, whether it's art, whether it's, you know, music or just anything related to something having this digital currency, this digital media. And so I want to kind of just, you know, throw this your way. And first of all, thank you for the introduction there, because I think that was really dope just about the point motion control, to kind of go back into that a little bit, because again, I think it's incredible kind of what's going on in that space. And I'm excited to see where it continues to go. Right, it's months that we've originally had that talk, and now we're seeing, like you just mentioned, progress, and I'm excited to kind of see what continues on into 2022 and beyond.
Totally. Glad to, always glad to expand on that. It's very, you know, innovation doesn't carry on equal ground across different industries. Different industries have their ability to adapt to innovation and new technologies. And if there's anything we know, is that music and art is typically always the first people to grab a new technology and saying, what can I create with this? What kind of possibilities are here for this? And it's kind of one of the main reasons. I mean, I would say this is true when you look back at, back when they were building the first cathedrals, right? And one of the first things they did was like, how music took shape to that, the acoustics, and how like we started to see people like Beethoven and Mozart. Like, I think technology and art, they have this really close relationship, probably because artists are so fearless when it comes to exploring new mediums. They get a new tool, they get a new instrument, they can play around with it and explore, and they don't have so many reservations. So I think that's probably, and we can get more into detail, but like I think that is why we see that in the NFT space, in the whole blockchain space. Yes, there's a lot of different industries that are, especially now, starting to be more disruptive with it, but it really started with art and artists saying, right now we have a hard time having ownership, transferring ownership. We have to go through lawyers to get a cut of our streaming sales. We have to go through ASCAP and BMI. Like, there is tremendous inefficiency, and the industry doesn't lend itself in favor of the artists. Whereas with blockchain, with NFTs, it's almost like a renaissance of ownership for artists and what they're doing. It's amazing to see, and it's been really enabling for myself as well.
Yeah, man. I was watching 60 Minutes last night, and I was watching an episode about, it was maybe from several weeks ago. I'm kind of going in order to not kind of miss anything, and it was a company that was talking about supersonic airplanes, planes that can fly in supersonic speeds, like much faster. And this guy was talking about how crazy. So the interviewer asked him, like, why do you think that your company can be the first to do something that really hasn't been done successfully, for many, many years? Apparently there were planes like this like years ago, but there were reasons that they couldn't really fly them too much longer. And this guy was talking about how, like, this industry, the airlines industry, is one that really has not seen any significant changes to the efficiencies in so long, pretty much since they kind of started, in terms of like when planes first started to like now, like the amount of time that it takes to get from point A to point B hasn't really changed anything significantly enough, whereas so many other things have changed. So when you talk about things like this, like changing and disrupting an industry where the artists are, I guess, going to be empowered more so to be able to have ownership, that's very exciting to me. And what I hope to do in this conversation is, for myself and for people out there that are curious about how NFTs can be something that can benefit them, specifically people in the art space, I want to try to talk about some sort of tangible things. And I'll ask, I purposefully did not do a lot of research on, I didn't come into this conversation wanting to know a lot. I want to kind of learn from you and ask the dumb questions, if you will, to kind of help make sense of this for me and others. So I want to start with like a question of, say if an artist produced a beat, a 3-minute beat that he or she thinks is incredible, and like this is a great sounding track that I think people will really love. I want to kind of explore, and so by the way, that artist is me right now. Like, I have many of such beats over here, just so you know, right? As a matter of fact, this is about, it says remaining time 5 minutes. I need to work on that. I think it's a 30-minute shutdown where this mic would have like deactivated, so I just had to hit that button just now.
Saved it.
That's it. Saved it. 5 minutes and counting. Now we just just reset it. So so I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to understand like how in the NFT world can that scenario of a person wanting to protect this beat and presumably, I don't even know how to properly word it, but like maybe I can have you sort of explain a scenario where someone like that could benefit from using NFTs, using that technology.
Yeah. we can paint a bunch of different scenarios around that. And myself, like, I've had a very, my realm is in music. So having gone to Berklee College of Music, studied, and worked in the industry a lot, I was very aware of the issues. And I mean, one of the biggest ones I would say is ownership and transfer of ownership of IP for artists. By us right now, like the way for us to prove that we own or to have like IP protection around a piece of content is a pretty complicated process, right? You're going to go through the Library of Congress to submit maybe some lyrics or a song or a recording, things of that nature. That's cost a lot when in terms of like lawyer fees, in terms of application fees, and the learning curve and the process and the time that it takes. Very long. To really get into how that changes in terms of how when bringing in NFTs and ultimately blockchain, I want to start by saying, like, NFT, what is happening here? What does NFT say? So NFT stands for non-fungible token. Before even getting into what non-fungible means, let's talk about what a fungible token is. A fungible token is something like Bitcoin, something like Ethereum, the cryptocurrencies that you see. They are based on a technology called blockchain that is built on, rather than it be built on a single computer, right? You have your file stored on your computer, right? But you could go, somebody could hack your computer, you could change your file, like, that data isn't trusted by everyone in the world to say this data has never been tampered with. This data is, and that's the reality of what Web 2, the current internet that we work in, is. It's what's called third-party trusted servers. Like, data sits on everyone's servers, and there's no agreement across, there's no unanimous agreement in terms of what a digital asset is, and here it is. So enter blockchain. You get these tokens that is like the most standard way of saying, here's one digit, here's one digit. They are all those digits are equal to each other. One Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin. That was the initial point of when blockchain started to enter our lives, and maybe into the space of like that, of the sort of like, I would say, fringe communities that are looking, Silk Road, like black market trade, right? People who wanted to sort of like be able to have ownership, but maybe they don't want to be, maybe they want to be anonymous, right? So that technology has been around for a long time. It's not new. What changed is that it became more efficient with Bitcoin and with Ethereum, that essentially, specifically with Ethereum, they were able to do what's called a non-fungible token, which is purely to say, instead of each token being equal to one, fungible means it can be exchanged one for one. Non-fungible means that it's each data set, each block, in the Bitcoin, each unit of measurement is a block of data saying here's one. A non-fungible token, each block is a unique set of data, just like your beats are a unique beat, right? Even if you were to mint on the blockchain, say you were to put on the blockchain 3 copies of that, it would still be copy 1, copy 2, and copy 3. There would be no way of saying like copy 1's the same as copy 2. So that's like non-fungible. Each one is a unique data set, and it can be validated, and it's different from it being on just one computer. It's, the blockchain is made up of thousands and thousands of computers around the world that are linked into one network that is not controlled by anybody. And that's created a new way of managing and trading digital assets. In the past, your ability to sell a digital asset depended on a couple things: expensive lawyer fees and extensive processes, which end up being inaccessible to the average creator, right? It only, you have to have a big budget to be able to, not only create, but then validate, and it makes it basically inaccessible. So what is happening now isn't that it's never happened before, it's that accessibility element that any artist can immediately, right now, on their computer, they can load their data, their beat, their instrumental into a digital asset that can literally be forensically traced back to the creator of it and can be validated. It can't be in the blockchain, there's only read and write. There's no erase. You can update, but that data, it's what's called a trustless system. In the current model of the Web 2, it's not a trustless system. You have to trust Amazon, you have to trust Google. So like our ability to actually, let's say, trade goods online has been very limited. So with the blockchain now, literally the lifespan of a piece of art has gone from 100 years to thousands of years. This is something that has never been because in order to have a true piece of art and like that was the big change, and we immediately saw artists take advantage of that. They said, great, I'm going to put up my image, I'm going to put up my music, and this is going to be something that people can always trace back to me. And collectors, you know, they have an issue to say like so many art, collectors and people who collect art, they have a big issue with forgeries. So this gave like collectors a lot less risk when it came to investing in artists. So as a beat maker, say, now that we've explained like what an NFT is, how this whole revolution, really what it's about is the commercialization of data. Web 2 was all about data access, data transfer. But then to take it a step further, how do you own that data? Right now, all of our data is owned by Facebook. All of our data is owned by Google. All of our data is owned by, but like, how can we own our own data? That is what this whole blockchain, this whole NFT movement is accomplishing for not only artists, but all sorts of creators and entrepreneurs. How does that apply to music? So I'm going to give you one simple example because we can talk about a lot of different use cases, but one very simple use case is to say, imagine you had a vinyl record, right? Maybe you made 100 vinyl records or 100 CDs or 100 MP3. MP3s don't really work that way because of Napster and all those companies. Like MP3 streaming like kind of tanked our, value retention as artists. So like, let's talk about just what's collectible. Let's talk about a vinyl or a collectible shirt or things that artists are selling at events, right? They're merchandise and vinyl, right? This is a perfect example on how artists, without going through a record label, without going through ASCAP and BMI, can retain a lot more value. If I mint an NFT of my instrumental, I can attach the licensing rights to using that instrumental to that NFT. The same way you would have that contract with a lawyer, this can literally be, a way to eliminate that cost of every time you want to sell a piece of IP, you have to go through a lawyer. So boom, we've saved artists thousands of dollars. We gave them a shorter time frame to be able to create that asset. And because of blockchain and the online environment, it makes it easy for people to exchange and sell that without having to go through legal or risky things that leave the collector like, am I going to get ripped off here? So when I created that NFT, you can say 10% of the royalties on the sale of that NFT are always going to come back to me as an artist. Exactly. When has that ever been possible with vinyls, with recordings? Absolutely. So that has literally changed the psychology as well as to how people invest and support artists. Rather than just say, I own, like for me to get the most value out of art, I need to support artists who have reached a point where the final product of their art is worth the value of what I'm giving them, i.e., going to a big festival, going to a concert. People pay thousands of dollars for that. Now with that, like you could say people not only do they feel excited to invest in early stage artists because of the authenticity of the item that they're purchasing, as the artist grows they can resell it, right, for a greater value. and they can always prove that it is legit, that it's a real piece of art from the original artists. Remember, like only 100, like most, if you buy most vinyls, like the ability for you to actually, not only maintain it, but say that this is a legit item, like one of the original, maybe the first press, like for you to say this is the first vinyl of the set that's been pressed. That's a difficult thing for a collector to do. But now with NFTs, so basically what I'm trying to say is just at the forefront, artists and musicians like yourself, you could create maybe 30 instrumentals, right? And you could sell that on the market, and people could not only buy it and trade it so that they can make money because they believe in you as an artist, that you're going to grow. And they say, great, like this is one of his first instrumentals he minted as an NFT. I can purchase that. And when he grows to 10,000, 20,000, a million subscribers, that's going to be worth a lot more. And I can sell it. And I can now get a gain off of the growth of my favorite artist. So now not only the collector mindset and the artist supporter mindset has shifted from, I only want to invest in established big artists, to I have a financial opportunity by investing in artists who I truly believe are going to be big and are talented. But as well as on the artist side, as that community trades that value, you, without having to go through ASCAP or BMI, Spotify, any of those organizations, you immediately get 10% or whatever percent royalty that you decide directly to you without going through a lawyer, without going through anything. Like it's changed the way that we can own and receive long-term benefits from the art that we create.
That's very, very powerful, because for many reasons. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is like the fact that there are so many people out there that support smaller and up and coming artists and have like a almost I'm trying to think of the right word to use here. Some type of like really strong passion and conviction, maybe is the word I'm looking for, in this particular artist. And for right now, like without NFTs, the way that you support this artist is if he or she is a streamer, you can go to their streams, you can share information about them to others to bring people there to introduce them to this new artist. You can join their Patreon, you can sub to their account and pay, money. There's ways to do that right now, and those are kind of like small scale. But what you're saying is like, in addition to putting money up to be able to purchase that original digital item that's gonna increase in value over time, depending on how popular this particular artist becomes, you're talking two things. One, you're still able to contribute to it, and in a way that can be magnified as the artist's career and journey kind of continues. That's a huge deal. So I think the first thing that comes to my mind is like, not first thing, that was the first thing what I just said. The second thing that comes to my mind is how easy, like if I wanted to go online right now and if I wanted to, I think the term you use is mint your music. Mint it. I want to mint
an NFT.
Mint an NFT for a 3-minute song that I have that I think is amazing. For example, what's that process look like? Is it hard to do? Is it very involving? Or like how do we do that?
It's easy, there's more complex ways, you can go from easy to hard and zero cost to more cost. Ultimately, there are websites and platforms. The easiest way, and, we can always get into more detail on because this is not something that's set in, this is an evolving space, so the simplest way, anyone who wants to like take their art and mint it onto the blockchain, what they would do is they would use maybe a platform like Rarible, RARIBLE.com. It's a website that is also acts as a marketplace for that art. So you can go on there, you create a profile, you upload your image or your audio file, and you say, what's the price going to be, and you can mint it onto the blockchain and you can have your own store. And it's as simple as that. It's like just like you upload something to YouTube or even how you upload a picture onto Facebook. The only difference is that data is housed on the blockchain. So in other words, it can never be tampered with, can never be erased. So it's a very simple process, but I'll say like the real value of it doesn't really come in simply, there's definitely a collectability element in putting your music online, but I think the real value that people are investing in is the utility of, to say, by owning this, I am the exclusive owner of the rights to use this beat, right? Yes, so like literally people are investing in the fact that now they can have a utility attached to this art piece. So you have a picture, right? I want to bring this before, like, so let's stick to this idea of like you have an instrumental, right? Somebody say let's take two examples here. One NFT that is just the instrumental, right? And somebody invests in it and it's great. There's 100 versions of the instrumental. They like there's 100 copies of it. They can collect it. It's one of 100. There's a collectability element in there, and that's exciting for any supporter, right? The same way, that's just a basic example. The next level beyond that, where people really feel excited, is to say there's a deeper utility here. Whereas by holding this NFT, not only do you have the art piece, but also the rights to use this audio file in a video game, in a movie, in a commercial, in your virtual reality mansion. You can have this playing in that space. Like for us, the artists, in order to sell the rights to do that, there are websites, but there still requires a contract, right? And how do you, as an artist, still, like, say somebody owns that, like, somebody says, I can purchase that, and they can sell that to somebody else in order for, like, that gets people, so people get more excited because there's a utility to this piece of art. They not only get the art, the collectible, but they also get the utility of the licensing that they get access to. Hey y'all, go check out chat. There is an opportunity for a raffle. Something that is being developed right now in the music industry. NFT integration for music with streaming platforms. So say rather than your revenues from streaming, right now they go through a publishing company like ASCAP and BMI. Spotify sends their numbers to those companies, and they give a certain amount of revenue per play to those organizations. ASCAP and BMI, they dictate, like, kind of like there's an agreement between them that says, like, here's how much we're willing to pay per stream, because we have a huge company and we have inefficiencies and we are like really inundated with the complex task of paying out all these artists. And so as a result, that $5 that gets paid to Spotify, you don't see very much of that. So with this NFT, say I told you by holding this NFT, you will get 1% of the royalties from the streaming of that song. So now the collector can say, not only do I hold the licensing to use it, but I also purchased this. And as this artist gets big, I will be able, this asset gives me 1% of the royalties of it. How is that possible? Because those NFTs that are going to be in the streaming platform are going to be connected to, say, everybody who holds this token gets a percentage based on the value associated to that token, i.e. there's 100 of these tokens, each one worth 1%.
Multiple people can hold the token in this example, right? Meaning not just one person has it, but it could be split amongst 10 people, and then everyone presumably gets 1/10 of that.
Exactly. And so, like, literally, rather than that $5 that you pay to Spotify, getting 0.0001 cent off of each stream, this is the reality we're headed towards. Imagine I gave Spotify $5, right? And I said, I'm paying this money because I want to have access to your music. Everyone doesn't listen to the same amount of music, right? Maybe I listen to 1 hour of music a day. Maybe you listen to 2 hours of music. Like, not everyone, so right now, because of those big publishing companies, the inefficiency around it, there's no way for them to really give the value to us on an equal and really, like, respectable way. But with NFTs, everything can be automated. So say I gave Spotify $5 and I listened to 4 songs this month, right? Say I only played on my Spotify, I only played 4 songs. Just so happens to be. Spotify would take maybe $1 of that. And then those artists across those 4 songs would each get $1. That's not possible with ASCAP and BMI right now because of the process that they have to take to get the money to the artist. But because of NFTs, everything can be instantaneous. At the end of the month, they can count up your streams and say, all right, yeah, this person paid $5 and they only listened to your music that month. Shouldn't you get a majority of whatever that $5 was?
Good example. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So it's all about like, you know, it's making the transfer of digital value more efficient. It's allowing for us to experiment and do things as artists and give that value to our supporting community in new ways.
This is really dope. Super helpful and very, very, very clearly stated. I didn't know if I was going to be able to understand this after the conversation.
It's a lot of layers.
There is definitely a lot of layers to it. I was going to ask a question about so the collector in the example you just gave. The more that piece of art gets consumed, in this particular case, gets listened to on a streaming platform, for example, then the collector, from what you were mentioning, depending on how the, I guess, agreement is, because there's agreements that or rules that are kind of set to say, okay, this is written this way, so the collector gets this much, but this one over here is written a different way, so the collector gets less or more or whatever.
Absolutely.
And that's determined at the outset, right, when you mint it.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
So in that case, you mentioned like the original person who made the music can get, for an example, 10% every time it gets sold to the next collector, right? 10%,
Yeah,
10%.
in perpetuity.
In perpetuity, yep. I learned about that word from watching a lot of Shark Tank. I love Shark Tank. They're always like, in perpetuity, like, no, we'll do about 10,000 units, and then we'll lower down to whatever percent.
That's the right way.
Right. So my question though was that in the case where the collector earns every time it gets played, I'm sure the answer is yes, but does the creator of that art also get funds sent to them, not just when it's sold, but from the stream? That happens as well, right?
So maybe what you would do is, and actually this is something I did, I actually minted what I call royalty tokens, and actually was the first artist to do this, was like minted these royalty tokens, and I allocated 30% of those tokens to my supporters in my community. And I kept 70%. Now keep in mind that record labels typically, at the end of the day, an artist, they're lucky if they can get 25-30% of their streaming, of their sales, of their revenues. Like a label is going to take most of that. Why? Because the label's handling marketing, distribution, agents, all that kind of stuff. So like with this, what you would probably do is you would say, Kevin Allen, I've minted, 100, let's say 100 royalty tokens, each one worth 1%. And I'm going to put 30 of them on the market for sale. And, you don't have to sell all of them. So you would keep a certain amount of them for yourself. And actually, since March, we've been seeing artists like Lil Pump, Pharrell, the list goes on. There's Blau, like there's a handful of artists that since then have also released their own royalty tokens. So the bigger mainstream industry is hip to this. They are moving towards that direction because they understand that moving forward, it's all about having this ability to have a deeper, more direct connection with your supporters. So this royalty thing is just one example on how we can close that gap between the relationship of my growth as an artist and what people who supporting it, they want to partake, they want to feel ownership over the art that they're supporting. And this way, like you said, not only can they get the value of the long-term gain on those royalties, passive revenue, but also when you grow, they can very easily validate and say, yes, this is the real token, you know, because it's on the blockchain, and they can sell it to somebody else. So it's a no-brainer for them to say, I'm willing to pay $200 to have one of these royalty tokens, just because they know, like, because they believe in you as an artist and they have a good chance of seeing long-term return.
All right, so we got to definitely talk about this a little bit. I was gonna, I have to learn not to interrupt. Let the person finish
please,
talking,
please.
and then I want to like hear that, and then I want to be able to ask the question. So that sounds very, very interesting. That's different than the minting of a song. Now you're talking about, you said 100 utility, 100 royalty tokens, not associated with any specific piece of art, but rather the artist. It sounds like you're saying.
You could do that, but for me, I've done it per song. So for each song, I'm minting a set of royalty tokens, and then so even for my existing catalog, like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going through my entire catalog of music, and I'm minting each one into a set of royalty tokens that then I can airdrop to my supporters. But I'm going to show you something else too. How do you validate that someone is a true supporter? Maybe they're on your Patreon, right? But when someone's on your Patreon, they're paying a monthly subscription, right? They can say, like, I'm a supporter on your Patreon. NFTs actually allow you to take that even a step further. Do you think that people would see value in saying, I'm one of the first 100 people in history to support Michael Jackson? If you could validate that and show, I was one of the first 100 people to believe in Outkast or believe in Bruno Mars. I believed in this guy. He was just getting started. He was selling his art like people sell on the sidewalk, right? Or people sell online. And I believed in him, and he was charging $200 a piece, and I bought one because I believe one day he's going to be big. And this art piece specifically says it validates you as one of the first 10 people to support this artist. Maybe imagine it as a badge, right? So imagine instead of having a Patreon, or in addition to having a Patreon, you could say, I'm going to mint 10 badges. The first 10 people to buy it, you're proving that you're one of the first 10 people that supported me. And as a result, 10% of my royalty tokens, when I mint them, I'm going to be sending 10% of those tokens to those 10 people. So now literally people can validate and authenticate and receive the reward of being one of the first 10 people to support an artist. Not only that, but when the artist gets big, and then imagine as you go on your career, every song you release, 10% of those royalty tokens goes to those original supporters, right? Without having to go through a mailing address, without having to go through a contract, all directly through NFTs. And that supporter, maybe when you hit 1 million subscribers, they say, you know what? Let me sell the value. Let me sell that value, that social value of saying I'm one of the first 10 people to support this artist. Let me sell that. They can do that. That was never possible before. Imagine the people who were the first 10 people to sign up for your Patreon, and then your Patreon blows up. With an NFT, you literally would be giving them the value of saying, I can now trade that value of being one of the first 10. And me as an artist, I always have the ability to send and reward those people who pay for the value associated with being one of the first 10. It doesn't have to be the same person across time. Because if somebody later down the line says, oh, this is worth a lot, I'm willing to pay $10,000 to be that person, to have that social, that social badge, to have the return that is equal to maybe I wasn't there early, but I believe in this artist and they're going to keep growing. So literally the relationship that we as artists that we can have. So like there's two layers to this, not only to say like the relationship in saying I can validate you were one of the first 10 people to support me. I can always, and I'm going to continuously drop you, that 10% is just an example number, but like the relationship that we have with our supporters is not only more direct, but the value that we can send them is more direct. So for me, like when I reach 1 million subscribers on my channel, my plan is to send, ETH to send, Ethereum, like maybe $1,000 to each one of those 10 people to come out to a private event. And I don't have to know their bank account. I don't even have to know who they are. I reset the raffle here. I reset the raffle. If you want to get some report tokens tomorrow, extra points towards report tokens, just enter the raffle. If you did before, do it again. I reset it because you got to be on your toes. Be ready to do that. So like our relationship with the people who support us as artists is much more direct.
Wow, these are great. Let me reset. Boom. These are great great pieces of information, man. I think we're having the conversation. So we're having it from a perspective of you understanding this stuff so well, and I'm sure you're continuing to learn it. And you're also an artist, as you know, which I think makes it even more practical because you're actually doing the stuff that you're saying you can do, which is really incredible. I thought about a social aspect of this that I think is kind of amazing, which is if you have confidence in yourself as an artist, which I imagine most artists believe in themselves. You know, there's different reasons why we do art. For some people, it makes them feel good. It's therapeutic. Some people really believe that what they're doing is stuff that others are going to really, 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 just love, and their popularity will grow over time and all that stuff. So what's so interesting to me is like for the person who, like, I believe in myself. I know what I'm doing. I kind of know what my path is. Thanks, man. Yeah.
I believe in you. I love coming on your show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Every 8 months, I gotta have you on for like, I mean, maybe not 8 months, but every so often. Like, yeah. Well, and now, like, just before I get back to my point, now that we see how easy this is, and I'm assuming this is all, like I said, being aired live right now, but I'm excited to check afterwards to see. But now that I see that this could be such an easier way to do, like, this is simple. I can just sit here and just talk to you and not worry about all these other things, editing. So definitely get back to that. But that badge thing is fascinating. And just to kind of reiterate what you mentioned, for the person who really, like I was mentioning, I believe in my continued growth and success and all that stuff related to the arts. And so if I exude that, and if people also see that in me, that like they see that I'm talented and that I love music and that I love inspiring and all these positive things that I kind of have learned about myself over the past several years, then others who see that, and I do offer something, like you said, like Patreon, there are services and there are ways for people to be able to support. But to answer your question, your sort of rhetorical question, I think you as do I think people would see the value? Like, hell yeah. That is incredible, right? Like there's people that I have met online. There's people I've met online that are artists and things like that, whether it's music or visual art. That I see them like I'll give someone a shout out right now. As a matter of fact, I'll give my man Knox a shout out, who was a guest on this show. And awesome. He was maybe 5 to 10 episodes after you were on. So he's one of the earlier guests. And he's someone that I network with. He lives over in overseas in, I believe, UK or London. One of those. Yeah. Those are the same place? No, it's a different place.
So it's like one. I think London is just in there on that island somewhere.
Somewhere out there. I'm butchering it, but you know what? It's all good. He lives out there somewhere, and he does music stuff. He posts these really just dope, well thought out, like Instagram, like little videos of him producing, and every time it's like a vibe. It's a major vibe. He's mad cool guy, right? So I connected with this guy, and I hit him up, and I finally was able to have him on an episode, and we had a great conversation. And then, like, even before having him on, I was like, the more people find out about this individual, I can see his popularity growing tremendously. And in short order after that episode, not necessarily because of the episode, but I think it was just the timing of everything, his popularity skyrocketed. And he's like I was chatting with him, he's doing all these really dope things and stuff. And so I'm saying, like, there's a whole bunch of different things that are kind of coming to my mind right now. One of them is like for the people who are like aspiring talent agents, people that are able to detect talent or say, wow, I've never heard that type of thing before. That's incredible. Or I've never seen a picture like that. That's incredible. I think this person is unique and different than anyone else that I've ever come across. like, oh, but I'm not a talent agent. I wish I was that at this time so that I can do something with this knowledge. Now what you're presenting is a scenario where you can easily do that if that
Absolutely.
person, right, if that person offers such a thing, offers NFTs or badges and stuff like you mentioned,
Royalty
and that
tokens.
yeah, tokens. It's incredible, man. I'm excited about this knowledge that you're imparting.
Well, I'm happy to, and like my mission really with this has been to share, because it has allowed me to do things that I'd never done as an artist before, that have really been exciting. And I've seen how it changed, how it really, I feel like, repaired the relationship between supporter and artists. I feel like in a way it became a bit of a, without better terms, like maybe an abusive relationship. Why? Because like the music industry is investing in, and it's just as natural as economics, they're investing in the things that are going to get the supporter to listen and grab their attention. And it's scientifically proven our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So the music that they're investing, there's a reason why we don't see Beethoven and Mozart walking around. Those kinds of artists, they're not mainstream, because at the end of the day, that type of music doesn't produce the return or opportunities that something like a 15-second TikTok song that is going to go viral, and they can get a bunch of sponsorship, and they can do this change is, in my opinion, is going to bring back the possibility of us seeing tremendous artistry be birthed, because now that people are going to be willing to invest in that. And with the badges specifically, artists, they're encouraged to do things that are going to put food on their plate and going to take care of their family. Like if you're a professional musician, that is definitely part of the equation. Like you would love to sit months and months on end in your spot and work on, a masterpiece, but that's not putting food on the table. So we see less and less of that. Not to say it doesn't exist, but with this whole shift in mentality by the supporter of the artist as well, say with these badges, people feel even more motivated to share their favorite artist once they have that badge, because they are going to get financial gain from them sharing that. So it's not just like, oh, let me show you, this is very cool. It's like, let me show you this guy's early, he has these dope NFTs, and this guy's going to be big, and when he's big, this is going to be worth a lot of, like, they feel a motivation, a deeper like survival instinct motivation to say, like, I want to support this artist because I am directly benefited from it.
Man, that's huge as well. I mean, when you're talking about badges right now, I'm thinking about, my recent foray into live streaming on Twitch, on YouTube, and having a Discord account, having a Discord server now and stuff. And I'm learning about all this stuff. I'm saying to myself, people take value in the stuff that you just mentioned about subscribing to someone's YouTube channel or Twitch channel, to have a badge, a custom badge next to the name, to be able to use custom emotes, right? To express themselves and show that, yeah, like Twitch has it right now. They have like a, what do you call it, early adopter thing, like for the first 10, I guess, subscribers to your Twitch channel, for example, they have this badge that's specific to the first 10 people. So people take extreme value in that. And so it's 100%. Not at all far-fetched or it's not hard to imagine that that's going to be something that's going to translate over to something that is less about just the vanity of saying I have a badge, but more about this badge comes with some potential monetary value that will increase over time. So that's incredible in its own right,
Yeah, you're going to find that there are going to be people who are literally going out there more people than ever are going to be going out there looking for new artists. Hope I'm streaming. Much love on the raid. Yo, all the whole crew, appreciate y'all coming through. What is good? There is a raffle going on right now. Tomorrow is the 1-year birthday for Decentraland Report. We're going to be giving away some report tokens. So join the raffle, ! Raffle, and you can win some tokens. That's right. The Decentraland Report is going to be truly a decentralized news station for the metaverse. And we're gonna give these tokens out and we're gonna freaking slay it. So I think there you might have to be followed to the channel to get into it. So if it doesn't go, and if it did go, then it wouldn't go again, succeed. So I don't know. I'll double check right here. But yo, appreciate y'all here. This is an interview that was conducted with me and Chordmaster right now. We're watching it, just premiered right now. So we're watching it live.
Up and think about, oh, that would be cool if this, or if someone did this, or something like this was available. And there's an idea that I had that's, I think, quite ambitious, but also very doable. And it involves music and visual.
Okay, I had to resume entries, so you can press exclamation point raffle now.
As mentioned, everything that we just talked about related to NFT, that NFT component injected into this other sort of collaborative / inspiring music art platform or tool that I have in mind, but having this NFT component with it can make this something that I think is incredible. And I have the idea, but I didn't have the
technical
time, technical as well as the drive to network with people and meet the right person or right team that we can kind of bring something like this potentially together and kind of explore it further. Let's put it that way. And this I believe this encounter right now of us chatting is not by chance. And so I want to basically have people. I want to have you let people know where they can find you, and then I'm going to close this down, and then we're going to chat about this a little bit, if that's cool with you.
100%. Absolutely. So if you want to get in touch with me on Twitter, you can check me out, Kevin on Earth 999. So that's where I talk a lot and where I'm, usually where I'm interacting with people in the NFT space. I do a stream on Twitch.
Woo, that's where we are, baby.
Eastern Standard Time. It is based in the metaverse. So we are inside the metaverse, which is essentially virtual reality where NFTs live. It's like virtual reality where these things exist and people. And so every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm in there reporting, talking about NFTs, talking about the metaverse.
Let's freaking go. Let's go, son.
Feature you as well. Like we can do an episode bringing you in there and introduce.
We're doing it.
We do a lot of different stuff there. But if you want to check it out, just twitch.tv/KevinOnEarth999. And, I definitely appreciate everybody and I'm so glad and grateful to be connected with Kevin Allen because he is a genuine artist. He really cares about the creative potential. And he's not like what I like to invest in are people who are just creatively passionate. Like they don't have a reason beyond saying like they have their, everyone has other things, but like our key driver is to say we love creating. And we love expressing and we love connecting with people and like sharing the value of that creation with people. And those are the kind of people who are going to be very successful in this space. So Kevin, when you drop your NFT, please let me know so I can ape in on that.
That's dope, man. Yeah, this is fantastic. And thank you so much for the kind words. That really does mean a lot. I think people are I think people need to express how they feel about others. This is getting a little bit on a tangent, but they need to express that more, right? Because I believe that in social media, like when you post things, when you do certain things, unless if explicitly told, like it's hard to know what is resonating with other people. And for 100%. Me, as someone who that is what drives me, right? That's what made me leave working at Verizon to become a teacher, is that I needed to be able to make more of an impact every day on a daily basis. That's why my level of passion that first year of teaching was just sky high. I was like, I never felt like I was working. I felt like, man, this is amazing. I get to be in front of these students and teach math and just interact with them and joke and inspire and do all these things. And so when I hear that, like when I think about the fact that some of the things that I'm doing for others like yourself and a few others who've shared, similar kind words, that makes me feel happy that it's inspiring others and that people are getting value out of it. Because like you said, that creative aspect is what it's all about. Like I absolutely, love that so much. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. I will definitely hop in that. I knew a little bit about the Twitch thing, but I have to make sure I'm following you because I don't think I've seen it on my list. So I will absolutely be hopping in. I'm curious about it. I got to check out what's going on. I mean,
it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap this up. So you don't go anywhere yet. We're gonna chat for about 5 minutes, and then I'll let you go get some lunch or something.
Appreciate you, man.
Everyone else out there, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm assuming you're watching. I'm assuming we're live. LinkedIn, I see little notifications up there. YouTube, all that stuff. So I'm excited about this new platform. Shout out to Henny the Business for inspiring me to do this, to kind of get this into a live setting, because this just makes so much more sense. I'm in a different place knowing that I do not have to go through 7 steps after this moment in order to get this out to people. That's huge for me. So I'm very excited for that. All right. Y'all have a good one. My man Kev, I'm chatting with you in a second.
This beat is fire, people. I'm so ready. I fall like confetti. We in there, son. Shout out Chordmaster. Yo, absolutely love the production. Love what you do, brother. And I love doing that interview. I had a great time. Appreciate you coming through. I thought it was amazing. I think that was your first, live sort of broadcast in that way. I think it was phenomenal. Yes, I was about to rap at Ed and Eddie. That's right, Zero. I don't know if people still know what's good about Ed and Eddie. Folks, I had a lot of fun. I hope that was I really enjoyed that. I felt like that was a great conversation, one I'm happy to share with the community and to have out there for future generations of people to come by. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our drop event at the Meta Zoo, so come by. Before that, I do want to note right here, look at this. I made a post earlier today on Twitter. I'm calling it, and this might not be the case, but peep this. Nas, right, who we were just talking about, the royalty token, is invested in United Masters. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's a big part behind it. Might be mistaken. Nas then works with Royal to drop his first royalty token. There might be some sort of connection between United Masters and Royal that we're going to be seeing down the line. United Masters is like, online automation services of what a label does for an artist, to provide data, reports, suggestions, like what you should be doing. It's like, imagine if all that was an AI automated thing online, and all the hard labor, you do yourself as an artist, but instead of needing a label, you just use United Masters. I'm on United Masters. It's a pretty cool platform, and they were definitely ahead of the game in this. And in this sense, now Nas is working with Royal. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be something right here. Royal is going to need some way to sort of. I could see this being a sort of like management. I could see like this taking the role of sort of the more streaming and tokenization for streaming, and this is going to be United Masters could be the platform which sort of becomes, honestly, it could become something like Spotify. A place where you can put your music and connect it to your royalty tokens. So either way, that's pretty freaking cool. I hope that that whoever does that doesn't, limit what tokens we can put into the streaming, but I was gonna say something. Yeah, MetaZoo. So y'all come by tomorrow, 7 p.m. during the MetaZoo Club night. We're gonna go there. We're gonna turn up to celebrate the Decentraland Report birthday. Tomorrow marks 1 year of the Decentraland Report. People, can we get some 9s in chat for happy birthday to DCI? I mean, it's a little early, but people, 1 year, that's pretty solid stuff, people. What we've accomplished in 1 year, I don't know. We definitely have some OGs here in chat. So you already know Zero Crow. We've accomplished a lot, and we got a lot more in store. Tomorrow, during the birthday event, we will be unveiling the website. What's good, Ingester? Ingester's in the house. That's family. What is good? We literally have been through so much. It has been amazing. We minted a token. We created our first wearables, brought on a whole team of reporters. We have our, I guess, what I would call our beta P2E experience. And now in this next stage, we're going to, automate and digitize the reward system. So for all intents and purposes, we are a P2E experience around reporting in the metaverse, but we're not decentralized and automated until we drop these royalty tokens, so that we're community driven, and all the decisions and all that would be great. I can't wait to see how that unfolds. It's going to be amazing. And then the other side of it is that we're going to automate the reward system so it can be truly like just self-driven, so that hundreds of years from now, even when we're not around, that there can still be a Decentraland report. I have a feeling Decentraland is going to be around, and they're going to want to see how things unfolded. I love it when you stop by, Ingester, and I love what you do. I love watching your streams. So do me a favor, drop your link in the chat so everybody can go over and follow. Make sure y'all support, give Ingester a follow. He is a great spirit in the space. He does a lot of fun things in the metaverse. Hopefully he'll come and join us as a reporter soon, because tomorrow when we unveil the website, we're going to be pretty much, and do this airdrop of this token, we're going to be opening up the opportunity now for new reporters to come on. How do new reporters come on? Well, we'll have to save that conversation for tomorrow. Stop by 7 p.m. At the MetaZoo, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see the event page right here. We'll drop the link. And make sure, like I said, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe over here. I'm subscribed to the channel. I both follow, and it is a fact I subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all pick up your On Earth badge at midnight. So I guess in 3.5 hours from now, is the cutoff for the report for the On Earth badges. These On Earth badges are going to give you a % allocation for the report token drop as well. So for tomorrow's report token drop, so nobody comes back and says, "Oh, I didn't get any." Pretty simple. Either you have to have an On Earth badge, a $9.99 or $999 On Earth badge, or you have the Pope tokens, which you've collected from previous events. And if you have those Pope tokens, all you need to do is confirm and claim your points for your report token drop by going here, and on this first post, you see post with your ETH address and a number of NF Tuesday Popes you have collected thus far from DCL report events. I'm going to go, and we have 106 people. Epic. Oh my God, let's go. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, well, I'm going to have to go through tomorrow, and we're going to validate these 106 people. We have about 199 On Earth badge holders, 999 On Earth badge holders, and 11 9 On Earth badge holders. So we're going to have to it's going to be a busy night for us, folks. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to confirm all of that tomorrow. We're going to airdrop those tokens. And then the real fun begins. I can't wait. I'm going to hold off on going through the plans for tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing time. I hope to see you there. If not, catch the replay and, stick around for the ride. This is going to be exciting. I don't know. Future, I don't know where exactly this will end. Not in any way that I can see. So we're just going to keep going that way. We're going to see what happens, folks. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow.